What does beauty mean to you?
It fundamentally means confidence. You are the new beauty standard, which means you decide, you define what that looks like. And that could change every day.
And today I have the phenomenal Stephanie with me.
Ever since I was 16, I always loved beauty. I loved the way it made us feel. And so I knew that if I was going to be an entrepreneur, it was going to be in that space. Human resource is the biggest challenge, no matter where you are in the world, actually. You have to be okay with someone doing it 70% what you would do 100%. You cannot depend on anybody else to deliver your dream the way that your dream is.
Yes. What would you say to entrepreneurs who are not looking to show their faces?
Nobody's that important enough for people to care that much. The reason why they want to see you is because of credibility.
Let's talk about the vision you had. How did you evolve?
As an entrepreneur, if you think that your plan is going to work out or what you envision is actually what it's going to end up as, you're joking. Right? God has a sense of humor, and that's just what it is. So resilience is key, but also knowing yourself, knowing your weaknesses, knowing what you need to work on, knowing that you can't operate the same in stage 2 as you were in stage 1. You have to change, and that's uncomfortable. But if you want to get to stage 5, you need to learn how to adapt.
Welcome to Seraban Conversations. And in this episode, we are talking about the power in her hue. And today I have the phenomenal Stephanie with me in this seat. And I mean, Stephanie is one of the people I admire based on what she's built in the Ghanaian beauty industry. Let me say even the African beauty industry. Hi, Stephanie.
Hi, Patty.
How are you doing?
I am doing good. I can honestly say I'm doing good.
Awesome. I love that.
Yeah.
So instead of me introducing you, I want you to tell me, who is Stephanie?
Wow. Who is Stephanie?
Yes.
So Stephanie is the proud founder and CEO of Colorbox Cosmetics.
Okay.
I am a passionate person who loves to show up 100% with the people that I love. So I am a proud auntie, a fabulous auntie. I am a passionate wife, a dedicated friend, an uplifter, and hopefully a person who leaves you feeling better once I've interacted with you.
Awesome. That's an amazing capture of who you are, because I can feel that passion in how you even speak. So let's talk about your journey to Colorbox. What has it been? What did you study beauty in school? Has it been something that you've always wanted to do? What did you do prior to that?
So this has been definitely a zigzag journey, and one that I could not have predicted, even if you paid me money to predict, right? So when I was in school, I started off let's start at university, really. Biomedical Sciences at King's College, London.
Wow.
And that's because I studied sciences in school. I never really was, maybe encouraged to explore other industries, really. But I thought I was going to be a dentist. And so biomed was just to try and figure out if I like science, what's going to happen.
Yeah.
But I realized that, number one, I don't like school. I don't like university. I don't learn well in that environment, even though I can do well, but I don't enjoy it. And number 2 was science. I'm a people's person, and science is something that you have to kind of be closed off and by yourself. So I quickly realized, probably in the first 2 weeks of uni, this is not going to be my path. So then my quest was, okay, what do I want to do? And I got an opportunity for an internship for investment banking. And it was for smart African and ethnic kids in London who were doing well in school and want opportunities to work in bank. And I had no idea what that meant. I had no idea what they even did. And it's just curiosity that led me to go down that path. And I really did fall in love with the challenge. It was really challenging. It was, you had to be your best. You had to bring your A game. The creme de la creme were chosen. And so you had to position yourself for that.
Yeah.
And so I spent a few years in that industry after doing internships. And then I realized that industry, you have to be dedicated for a couple of decades before you're really going to be positioned as an authority in the business. And I was like, I don't think this is my life for the next 20 years. So, but all throughout, I always loved beauty. Always. Ever since I was 16, I was doing part-time jobs in department stores and going around to all the different beauty brands or fashion brands that had beauty counters. And I just loved it. I loved interacting with women. I loved the way it made us feel. And so I knew that if I was going to be an entrepreneur, it was going to be in that space.
Okay.
And so after a few conversations, and there was a huge financial crisis that impacted every part of the industry in finance. And I said, you know what, if I'm going to do this entrepreneurship thing, then that would be a good time. So I put my hand up and was like, guys, I'm ready to go. I want to explore something new. And beautiful naivety had me look at Ghana as an option to start a beauty brand.
Okay.
So went to Ghana, went around and spoke to every single person I could possibly find in the beauty industry, went to every single shop and tried to understand like what was missing or what was the gap, because it was really new. We were just kind of bubbling. And so I decided, there's some sort of a gap here that I could fill. I wasn't quite sure exactly what it was, but I knew it had to be a Ghanaian brand that women could be proud of. And so I put my money where my mouth was and started off with 3 products and then started from there.
So what were those 3 products?
At that time, brows were really, really in.
Okay.
So there was a brow stencil, a plastic brow stencil you could put on your face and draw in.
Okay.
A brow pencil and one brow brush that we still have today. That even one of the makeup artists was using just now. I was smiling to myself.
Oh, wow. Wow. That's amazing. So I want us to talk about the beauty industry.
Yeah.
For you, what does beauty mean to you beyond the physical appearance?
It fundamentally means confidence. Because, we have a saying at Colorbox that you are the new beauty standard, which means you decide, you define what that looks like. And that could change every day. Some days I'm no makeup and lip balm and I feel beautiful because I have that confidence. Some days it's a full glam and that is my version of beautiful. And I feel like we don't need to put pressure on ourselves as women. There's enough pressure as it is. And we are fluid. So it is defined by me as confidence and just allowing yourself to be fluid and to express yourself.
That's amazing. That's amazing. And you've tied this into the brand that you're building. So it goes beyond the physical products that you're selling.
Absolutely.
And when I see your campaign messaging and all of that, I see how that plays out.
I'm happy. I'm happy.
I see how that plays out. I would say that you've been a beacon of hope for a lot of people who desire to build something, not just in the beauty space, but as entrepreneurs in general. Let's talk about the vision you had with your 3 products and where you are now.
Yeah.
How did you evolve?
As an entrepreneur, if you think that your plan is going to work out or what you envision is actually what it's going to end up as, you're joking. Right? God has a sense of humor, and that's just what it is. But you have to be goal-oriented. And so I knew that I wanted to have an affordable luxury brand. So something that was accessible. I didn't know exactly how that was going to form. I didn't even know that we were actually going to be known for makeup brushes, for example, and then build from there. But that's kind of just how it went. I listen all the time. I really like to keep my finger on the pulse. If I don't, I feel disconnected. So I really need to understand, like, what are people saying? What do they want? How can we position ourselves? And then how do we build our resources to kind of match our next step? So I didn't know that we were going to actually be like a brand that pushes empowerment. That wasn't actually my goal, right? And I always try to remain humble enough in this industry where I understand I was born and raised in London. I came here. Nobody asked me to come to Ghana, right? No one said, oh, we need a beauty brand to come. I said, I have something to offer. So therefore, I need to position myself humbly and say, what do you guys need from me? Right. So that is how it's built over time. So I'm listening. And then now, like, we've got the makeup brushes and people love our brushes. Great. Now it's time for makeup. And we've been listening. So what do people want? What products do we bring out in what order? And what's missing in the industry that they would like? What's the pricing point like? So we are listening and being guided. But as long as it's a message of empowerment and as long as it's affordable luxury, then, I believe then we'll be kind of hitting our goal or meeting or reaching our vision.
That's a key thing. I see when you even wanted to start with your 3 products, you came and listened. And even in your growth, as you're evolving, you keep listening.
Yes.
And I think that's one of the core things as every entrepreneur that you should have. Like, then we are creating in isolation if you are not listening to the people.
No one asked you for this, like you have to come listen and plug in where you fit in, Yeah.
What would you say are some of the mistakes you've seen entrepreneurs make in this line?
The big one is not staying humble. And what that looks like to me is you have to appreciate when people spend their money with you, right? My product is not food. It's a want. It's a desire. So when someone parts with their money to spend with Colorbox, you have to really appreciate that. And so sometimes it's a battle where sometimes when people feel like they've arrived, which I honestly believe Colorbox is at stage 1 of 10, right? But when they feel like they've arrived, then sometimes an attitude can come. Yeah. Sometimes certain terms and conditions that do not favor a client or your customer can come. And then that puts them off. And so in order to kind of stay on top, you really have to, again, stay humble and listen, because otherwise it's really off-putting. And as soon as somebody else comes that's selling something similar to you, trust me, they are gone.
They'll move.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's amazing. Entrepreneurship can be very turbulent, especially in this side of the world.
Oh my God.
How have you navigated turbulence as a founder?
Wow. The key word is to be resilient. That's the key word. You can grow resilience, but I think most entrepreneurs are kind of born with that in them. And I would say when I first came, it was rough. It was tough. It was at that time when it was 24 hours light off, 12 hours light on.
Oh.
It was tough. And I'm coming from Canary Wharf, London, Mayfair, and so, but I said to myself, when I come, 3 years, I'm here. Doesn't matter what's going to happen. 3 years. After 3 years, I can then assess whether truly and truly this is something that it's working and I want to do.
Yeah.
So it was the dedication to the timeline in the beginning. And then the resilience comes from I do hear positive feedback all the time, which lets me know I'm on the right track. And it could be something so small. It doesn't matter who it is. If they come to tell me something about my product that is good, it lets me know, yes, okay, I've heard this more than once, more than twice, more than 3 times, which means there's something to what they're saying, and I need to continue doing what I'm doing. So yeah, you have to be able to serve. I really do not mind serving. My brand is there to serve, right? So I think resilience, and now at this stage where we're trying to scale, that's a different level altogether. So resilience is key, but also knowing yourself, knowing your weaknesses, knowing what you need to work on, knowing that stage 1, you can't operate the same in stage 2 as you were in stage 1.
Yeah.
You have to change, and that's uncomfortable. But if you want to get to stage 5, you need to learn how to adapt. So it's that dedication to the resilience and to the goal.
To the goal.
Yeah, it's beyond me. It's I need to prove that this is the right choice, and this was the right decision to start this brand, and it is serving its purpose.
Resilience. If I say we'll go into that, we may not finish that conversation. But I want us to talk about human resource. I'm sure there's an entrepreneur watching this thinking, oh my God, Colorbox has it figured out, but from where I sit with entrepreneurs, I know that human resource is one of the biggest challenges. people being able to buy into your vision and being able to operate excellently at the level at which you expect them to. What has been your experience with that?
I have had to learn that my leadership style needs to change. I'm trying to take a lot more accountability now.
Okay.
Because human resource is the biggest challenge, no matter where you are in the world, actually. It just happens to be that culturally here, the way we are, I've learned that we are more sensitive. We value relationships more than we value money at times. So the building of the relationship and creating as much as you can, a safe space for people to be open is where my next step is, right?
Okay.
And trying to make sure that I can stay connected one-on-one with obviously the key people whenever I can, whilst building. Because that is really a juggling act. So human resource is incredibly challenging. And sometimes, because I research this a lot actually, you have to be okay with someone doing it 70% what you would do 100%. You have to just be okay with that and push them to get to as close to 100%. But at this stage, you can't do everything. And so you need to make some concessions with goals in mind. Another thing that I've really, really learned is the structure, creating structure around different roles. And that is something that I'm constantly learning. Because when you're an entrepreneur and your business is growing, you have different needs. You could have a different need every 3 months.
Yes.
And so finding the people that are able to be flexible, and then you make sure you're communicating with them and making sure you're taking them along on the journey. And at the same time, they still may leave the country right now because they have an opportunity to travel. And you have to start this all over again. But the structure and clarity is what has really helped me so far. But I really take a lot of views and guidance from my friends that do this really well.
Okay.
Because I know I have my blind spots, right? So I have to, I'm like, okay, let me watch them. What would they do? And it's really helped. It's really helped.
I love that you mentioned that. So that's going to be my next question. Who are some of the people that have held your hand through this process, have empowered you one way or the other on your journey as an entrepreneur?
I think if you're going to be an entrepreneur, just know that your hand is lonely. Your hand is lonely. There'll be times where your people will see that you do need a helping hand up, but they will not continue to hold your hands. Entrepreneurship is a lonely road by nature, right? But in terms of staying motivated or just knowing, well, for me, it's knowing that things are possible. Me, I like roadmaps. I love roadmaps and I love to see that things are possible. And sometimes I don't like to go to people that are too far beyond where I am, because that is too unattainable for me. How I look at it in sense of increment steps. And so when I see some of my peers do great things, my source of inspiration from that is huge. Because I'm like, you know what? These guys are smart. They are beautiful. They are intelligent. And they don't have two heads.
Yeah.
Me too. I can find a way. To do it. And most of the time, it's the way that their mind is looking at things and approaching things. And that is a skill you can learn. So that's what I'm taking. I'm like, okay, what are my key few people doing? And then I'm like, okay, how do I adopt that in my business? And then we make it work.
That's amazing. The same way you've been able to pick pockets of motivations from different people, from your peers.
Yeah.
Have you been able to create something where you are holding the hand of the next person coming?
So there was an ambassador, a Colorbox ambassador and mentorship program that we started last year. And it's something that I do periodically to inspire them. Also give them job opportunities. Because to me, young ladies, when they understand and realize that this is all about hard work, there's no shortcuts. People can make it easier for you, but it's never going to be easy. So I like to empower through practical settings. So most of the time, like when we're having, fairs, trade fairs, pop-up shops, I will make sure that I give the opportunity to them. Even sometimes when we're doing stock counting, when we're doing like the unsexy things of business, right? I will get them inside, train them up, and then from there I can see, oh wow, okay, there's a set of young ladies that understand it's about hard work. It's about being able to serve as well.
Yes.
And that's how I do it. Now, for some people, that's not their style. They just want kind words. Some people, they look at a mentorship as a shortcut, but it's not like that. It's not like that.
Yeah.
So I'm very, very practical when it comes to that. But most of the time, you can get inspiration just from seeing people do.
Yeah.
And then just thinking like, wow, like how can I do that as well? So that's kind of where I am. In the future, I do want to be more, I would say more hands-on with that. But in the season that we are now in scaling, I'm doing the little bit that I can.
Yeah. And I love the practicality of things with that structure, because one of the gaps I have seen is, when the workforce that the universities are churning out do not have the real life practical stuff.
No.
So then they come into your organization and you're like, what are you bringing?
Even national service doesn't cut it. Yeah.
And that's wild.
Yeah.
So I think that's a very great addition that you're making to the society, honestly.
Thank you.
Very, very, very great addition. Now let's talk about you as a founder and a visionary. What are some of the routines you would say that if you do have routines, so maybe it's a ritual, something, what are the things or activities you do that has sustained this life that you're building?
I would say taking breaks and recentering. Very, very important. Very, very important, actually. For me, that looks like traveling.
Okay.
That looks like spending time with family.
Okay.
And it looks like spending time by the beach. The waves calm me a lot. So when I'm feeling overwhelmed, one of these three things, obviously family and hubby, they are centering, My nephews and niece don't care about what I do. Do you know what I mean? It's just Auntie Stephanie.
Yes.
And again, that's really grounding. And when you find yourself like going in a cycle of this not done right, this not done right, this not done right, and it becomes overwhelming, or things maybe just go drastically wrong, and you're like, I've done all the planning in the world. How could this have possibly gone wrong? Sometimes you just need to take a step back and be like, you know what? We go again. We go again.
Yeah.
But those three things are what usually keeps me grounded. Traveling, family and hubby, and the beach.
Awesome. I think this will be my last but one question.
Okay.
What has kept you... Your brand has I would say, a solid market share in the Ghanaian space. I can't tell for Africa as a continent, but you have... There's a certain level of top of mind awareness when it comes to that. What do you think has given you that competitive edge?
I am very competitive by nature.
Okay.
I'm very competitive. So even me, I'm more gingered when there's competition, and I like competition. In London, there's, everybody's competing. It's in Ghana that I've learned that, it's not necessarily seen as a good thing, but it breeds innovation. I don't see anything wrong with it. It's like, bring your A game. So yeah, for me, I think competition is good. It's good for me.
Yeah.
Otherwise, to be honest, I didn't really have that in the front of my mind. I was just going. And in the last few months, I've literally taken a significant step back. I'm looking at really, what is it going to take? If Colorbox is at stage 1 now, what's it going to take to get to stage 5? What systems and structures am I really going to have to put in place? And even questioning, do I want to? Is it worth it? Can I? And asking myself those serious questions before now, I'm ready.
Yeah.
And then now when it's time for a comeback, you'll see it's time for a comeback. But it's top of mind. I just had that energy, I just had the energy to be like everywhere and anywhere. And I didn't go to school for marketing or anything else. I just love it. I just get so much joy from it.
Yeah.
So for me, it was just like, we're just going. We're going, and you're getting that positive reinforcement from people, and then you're going, and it's that cycle. But now, as the brand is growing, we need systems and structures to make sure that this thing can grow with or without me.
Yes.
So
yes.
now,
That's the ultimate goal.
I'm telling you.
Yeah.
I don't, when they say, oh, entrepreneurs, if you can't take a 6-week break, then you're not being an entrepreneur. It's a lie. I don't know any business actually.
Self-employed.
Yeah, like exactly. I don't know any business, whether here or in the UK, of people that are actually scaling and growing that can take a break from their business for 6 weeks. First thing is not, you shouldn't feel bad, right?
Yes.
You should be able to take a break, but you're in it.
There's
you're
still
scaling.
going to be things that would be reliant on
you are the visionary.
Yes.
You need to communicate that constantly all the time, right?
Yes.
And until you get really lucky, because I believe it's luck at this point, when you get human resources and you get your people, you need to be there. You need to be active, right? You cannot depend on anybody else to deliver your dream the way that your dream is.
Yes. Yeah.
So,
yeah.
I'm
really glad that you touched on this because I feel like a lot of entrepreneurs, in the quest to build systems and structures and build something that can perform without them, they tend to think that, I can stay away from the business and things will work. And I think that's such a negative mindset to have, because then you expect people to carry the vision when they did not bear the vision in the first place.
And why should they? Do you know what I mean? Like, there's a certain level of, why should they? People are inherently selfish as well. So you have to make it worth their while, and then certain parameters around that,
Yeah.
That's just reality.
Yeah. I'm glad that you spoke about marketing and how you market Colorbox. I feel like we should do a case study on Colorbox, actually. What would you say to entrepreneurs who are not looking to show their faces? Because it's an actual problem. I don't want to show my face. What would you say to that?
I used to be like them, right? When I first started out. But then I just realized that I don't want to have to deal, this is real talk, I don't want to have to deal with any other people or give people the power to determine whether they want to show up or don't want to show up when they know that my brand is reliant on them. I can rely on myself, right? So at that point I said, okay, I can actually do this. I can do it at 2:00 in the morning. I can do it at 6:00 in the morning. I can control myself. So that's how I even got into putting my face out there.
Okay.
And then just being like creative with ideas and not being scared as well. Like, I know who I am. If I want to dance I will dance. If I want to eat, I will eat. Like, I'm not fazed by perception. I'm not really fazed by it at all.
Yeah.
So I think that also helped. But when it comes to brands not wanting to show their face, I'm trying to put this in a very nice way. Nice way. But the reality is, nobody's that important enough for people to care that much. The reason why they want to see you is because of credibility. That is simply the bottom line. It's not because they care that much they're going to be talking about you. Maybe people can talk or whatever, but you'll be yesterday's news right now. It is credibility. The trend of the moment is, we want to see the founders' faces. We want to see it. I want to see who's behind it. I want to see what your morals are. Who are you? Do you align with me?
Yeah.
Can you even empower me? That is the trend of the moment. That may change in 10 years where you'll have AI influencers doing that for you. But as of now, this is what it's at. And so you can try and fight it as a business owner, but you'll be fighting an uphill battle. So you have to find your way of doing it. If it's posting your picture and then writing a caption, at least so they can see that it's your words, find your way of doing it. But you are the only one that can tell your story the way that you can.
I love that. If your life was a color, what would it be?
Pink, instantly.
Why?
It's my favorite color.
Okay.
And for a reason that I think is feminine. I think, women, we have a feminine power. And pink just reminds me that I can unlock it. It's is pretty to me. I think it suits most shades of melanin. And for me, it's warm. I feel warm. I feel pretty. I feel happy. And so, yeah, even my favorite bird is like a flamingo bird because they're pink.
Oh.
I mean, you see them all together. They look gorgeous. They look beautiful. So it's 100% pink for me.
That's amazing. Alrighty. So this conversation is powered by the recent Seraban collection, which is the Sun Roots collection. And so I would want you to share one sun moment and one roots moment. One sun moment is a moment that has lifted you up, has inspired you in the last week, month, or year. And the root moment is any situation at all that has kept you grounded.
The sun moment, very recent. I convinced and paid for my parents to go on a holiday together.
Aww.
And I had to say convinced because this one day I had to strong arm them. They don't like me spending money on them. They are very, conservative. They are my biggest supporters. They are wonderful. But it's now time for them to enjoy. And so when they allowed me to bless them with this holiday and to see the joy on them, to see them be happy, it was such a sun moment. It just really was. Yeah, it's one of those ones. So I'm like, yeah. And I need to do more of it, but I need to just do more convincing. Like, you need to learn to enjoy life, guys. You're retired.
Yeah.
So that was definitely a sun moment.
Okay.
A root moment. A root moment kept me grounded. Do you see, there's so many small ones, but it could even be, okay, when it comes to human resource, my team, me thinking that I have trained them in a capacity that I thought that was sufficient.
Yeah.
And then me finding out that it wasn't, which means now I have to go back to the drawing board, create another training manual and test manual, and then train again, right? And the reason why that was like a grounded moment is because you're like, I've been doing this for a while. I've been training for a while. So how comes this didn't work? Okay, so I need to go back to the drawing board and you realize that, you are constantly learning all the time. So yeah, that's what I would say my root moment was.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Stephanie. It's been such a delightful conversation.
Thank you for having me.
You're full of light. So this has been a sun moment for me as well. And I believe that this conversation has blessed someone. But before I wrap up, can you look to somebody watching us and speak to anybody at all that comes to mind, that if the person, let's say, is on an entrepreneurship journey, is looking to build something, just speak to that person.
All right. So I'm talking to the young ladies out there that are ambitious. You may see a lot of things that are happening online. You may see people accomplishing things that you think make you behind on your journey. But I want you to really understand that life is a marathon and not a race. And you have to also understand that not everything you see online is 100% true. So you have to be able to carve out your journey and make sure that you are goal-oriented and you work hard. Because there really is no shortcut. It doesn't matter how pretty you are. Doesn't matter how young you are. Doesn't matter how intelligent you are. There is no shortcut. So start working hard. Start being strategic about what you want and go for it.
Thank you for watching this episode. If you stayed to this point, we appreciate you. We value your viewership. And I hope that you have already left a comment and subscribe to this channel so that we can bring you more on Seraban Conversations, powered by Seraban. Thank you, and I'll see you next time. Bye.